Hey everybody, hello, hello. How are you? Jessica Coulter here, CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring. With you guys, we're going to be talking about your teens and what to do if they say they don't have any homework. Okay, so if you've got some teens at home, I want to know this message is relevant to you. Make sure you tap that like button for me, drop a yes down below. And I want to invite you to my Facebook group, Students Aiming for A's, if you're not already a member by clicking that link in the description. Now, I have some advice for you. Your teen says, I don't have any homework, and you want them to do something. You have an activity for them ready to go, so that the way they're always learning, they are always ready for the next test. And so that way they don't spend all evening on their phones, watching TV, whatever it is you might not want them to do. The very first thing your teen can do when she says she doesn't have any homework is to review her notes. She can then also prepare for that next chapter, okay, that next unit. So if you've got a college kid, this is super, super important because unlike middle school and high school, there will not be weeks upon weeks per chapter, let alone per unit. Okay, it's going to go a lot faster, and there's going to be times that your kid's going to walk into class and be told, okay, we're talking about this chapter that you read last night. If your child didn't do that, it's going to be a rough lecture, a rough lesson. Now, at high school, there's going to be kind of a slower pace generally, but the more often that your teen reads his notes, goes over the things that are coming up in class, the more prepared he's going to be, the more he's going to remember. So that's the first thing I want your teen to do if he says, I don't have homework. He doesn't have to spend hours upon hours reading every single thing he's ever written down for that class, but more than just a quick scan over the notes is definitely something I would have your teens do. The second thing I recommend, is we're doing homework. Okay, so in science class, in math class, so when there's formulas, the more your child does those practice problems, the more, I don't want to say, I mean, they are going to get easier. I was trying to say more easier. I'm like, oh, I can't say that. So the easier they're going to be. Okay. And also, if you've got a kid that says, I've already done those, or Mom, I don't want to do that, so boring, or why would I do something that wasn't worth any points? Well, there are always extra questions at the end of pretty much every textbook. Okay. So if your kid doesn't want to do something he already knows and says, oh, yeah, those were so easy, I don't need to do them again. Well, ask them to do those questions at the end of the chapter. And honestly, online, there are a lot of easy worksheets to find online nowadays. So definitely check out my group for some resources, but also know you can find them pretty easily on your own as well. So those are two things to have your teens do when they say they don't have homework. Have them look at their notes, have them get ready for the next chapter, and do some practice problems. So I've got another tip here for you. Before I do tell you that, I want you to realize we're live on Facebook and on YouTube right now. So make sure you follow, make sure you subscribe so you catch these videos live. So the last thing to tell you, and this is probably the most important, but is to have your kid create some test questions, or maybe moms and dads that are watching, have you guys quiz them. Okay, you flip through the book, you look at those questions at the end of the chapter and quiz your kid. Now, if your child is kinesthetic and really likes to create things or is visual, I would say make some flashcards. Okay, you can do that, the good old paper and pencil, paper and markers, or again, going back to where we are nowadays, there are so many online things like Quizlet and quizzes that you can create those, your kid can create those himself, herself as homework, as a way to review. So thank you so much for watching. Wanted to reach out to all of you moms and dads that say, hey, what do I do if my kid doesn't have homework? Or, should my kid have homework every night? Well, the answer is that I want your teens to be constantly learning. I want them to be constantly practicing what they've learned, because the more they practice the right way, the better and better they're going to get at that content, the better it's going to stick around in their heads, and the easier those classes, those tests, those projects are going to be this year and next. So thanks for watching. Have a good night, and I hope to see you in my group very soon. All you gotta do is click the link in the description so you can get your hands on that list of board games that are educational without your teen realizing it. Have a good night.